I put the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city. See the superstar. Hollywood to Hollywood. Girl, you look good. Yeah, they hollering, baby. Keep modeling, baby. ATLD. I put the spotlight on your city. Carolina, Philly. I put the spotlight on your city.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spotlight Over the City. I'm your host, Stan Long, and guess who I got back with me this week?
Your girl,
my
Dana
one and only
Dane.
Dana Dane, my co-host Dana Dane. Welcome aboard, Dana. Thank you for coming back. I love to have you here. I was like, oh my gosh, she got to get back here because, man, the balance. You know, like it's hard to create the balance that once you work with somebody for a while, you know, it's kind of hard to create that balance. So wifey's the bomb. Welcome aboard, wifey. Got her on board. She's over there
2
struggling
weeks
with
in
her.
a row. My
Struggling
sister's
with her.
been holding it down for me. Thank you.
So welcome aboard. Got Terry Long on board as well. She's going to be a part of the panel today because we're going to be bringing that discussion back. So welcome aboard, you guys. We're going to talk about it. I got my phone turned up the right way this time so we can talk. What's going on, family? So thank you guys for tuning in to Spotlight Over the City. Today we're going to be discussing something that we found so important that we kind of returned it from last week. So Danny, you wasn't here last week. So we was talking a little bit about blended families and how to make them work. So we both have experienced this situation. So we're gonna get into that a little later on during the show.
Okay.
So Spotlight News, Spotlight News, Spotlight News, Spotlight News, Spotlight News. Wow, H&M. We already heard about H&M with the situation with the we had that picture H&M with the hoodie situation. So basically what it is, it's a hoodie that says coolest monkey in the jungle. And here we go. It's a H&M hoodie, and it was spotted, and then all of a sudden it went crazy, became viral, became a real big deal. So I was listening to a lot of the different commentary about it. I feel a certain way about it, of course. It's a negative connotation in case people say, well, why is it such a big deal? Well, guess what? Guess who doesn't think it's a big deal? His mother. She says she doesn't think that it's such a big deal. Her son has modeled hundreds of clothing, and this one is not such a big deal to her. So I'm saying that to say, what are you guys' opinion? Because to me, Bathing Ape is a company that a lot of young boys wear, a lot of young people wear. Bathing Ape, B-A-P-E, is BAPE. Stands for Bathing Ape. Right, and we've been wearing it for years. I'm guilty of it. I wore it when it first came out years and years and years ago. It's back again now.
You think it was negative?
You
think it was created to be?
So whether you got a clean ape or a dirty ape, you're still an ape, right? So it was not negative, you know, when it first came out as far as being an ape. That's associated as being a porch monkey. That's what it means. Right?
But sometimes, I mean, let me.
So is we going too far? I mean, like, are people being too sensitive?
I think so.
That's what we want to know, you guys. Are people being too sensitive about this subject? Is it something that is not a big deal? What you think?
Sometimes people are being too sensitive about it. Sometimes. And I guess my thinking is really on a broad scale. So when I saw the shirt, and saw the little boy with the shirt on, immediately I thought, dang, it looks like they're saying he's a monkey. I mean, he's a little African-American boy, and it looked that way. But as far as just having on a shirt, like, say if it wasn't on H&M, and a little boy just had on a shirt with a monkey on it, I mean, does your mind automatically say, oh, whoever made that shirt is a racist? I think sometimes people put too much into stuff. Like, if nobody would have paid attention to that shirt, nobody probably would have said anything. But once one person says something, everybody automatically gets the negative thinking in their heads. Not saying that it's right if it is created to be racist. But if it's not, I mean, I think a lot of people assume so much. I really do. That's just my opinion.
That was kind of like I'm going to piggyback off of you. I think that people do get a lot in their feelings a little too much these days. But I will say this. I don't think that H&M is a racist company by far. Me personally, I don't think that H&M has people working in certain departments that has awareness, community awareness of certain things. They just make clothing, and they have certain, you know, infrastructures within the company that do certain things, and that's all they do. They're not real familiar with community awareness. They're not real familiar, so I don't know that it was offensive, even though it wasn't on a white kid. I don't know that it was meant to be offensive, so to speak, but I did think that they was sliding one in. I think they slid one in.
So you do think that?
Yeah, I think that it was an inner person slid one in, not really the company itself. Like, say we work together. If you do something, you're a reflection of Spotlight over the city.
Right.
Does not mean that I share the views you share and vice versa. Well, H&M may have an employee that's an idiot or a person who designs for them that's not so bright. And they didn't think it through, is what I'm saying. So it became a reflection.
I'm pretty sure the person in charge never. Who wants to just create something that's going to make African American people mad all over the world? That's going to take away from your money. So again, I mean, I don't think it was intentionally, and I think it might have been a lack of intelligence on the person's part, like you said.
Yeah, I just think it may have been that. What you think, wifey? What do you have to feel? You feel some kind of way?
I'm on the fence.
You on the fence?
I am. I'm on the fence. I think that there's a lot of sensitivity out here now, like way too much.
It is.
But when I saw it and I looked at it, and I'm like, you're walking a fine line, H&M.
Super fine line.
Fine line. I mean, am I going to boycott them? I don't go there because they don't sell thick girl stuff. So I don't have to boycott them, but that's a thin line.
I agree. I think it's a thin line, but
I'm on the fence.
Again, I don't know that you should boycott a company based on it. I think you should make your opinions known, and I think that you should also make your money known more than your opinion. I think that's the big thing with us now. Instead of ranting and raving, I think that when you have a problem with a particular entity, then don't spend your money with that particular entity.
But you know how we do. We as a race, don't get me started.
No,
we as a race, we'll talk all this stuff about H&M, but if you Google, like I was having this conversation with Brian the other day, if you Google all of the companies and organizations that have had someone in their organization talk negatively about a black person, guess what? We wouldn't be shopping in most of the places that we shop at.
I agree.
And if we put the energy into coming together when it's black people doing stuff to black people, we would have more unity in the black community. Don't get me started, man. It's just,
I love it. I love it. I agree with you 100%. I think that we do get distracted really easily.
Yeah, we do.
And I think that we put our energy into the wrong places really easily when we should be controlling the black dollar and focused on that. If truth be told, then a lot of things wouldn't even be happening today because it would be already controlled. So anyway, on to the next. Russell Simmons.
I want to say something real quick. Malika just said, and this has to do with what you said.
Okay.
Malika just said on my Facebook Live, she said, the mother didn't have a problem with it. The mother is crazy. She just wanted the money. But maybe the mother didn't see a real problem in it because, like she said, her son has been modeling and he's modeling all types of shirts.
Well, I think that's part of the problem, Mother. I think the mother saw a problem with it hindsight, even if not up front. But mother still wants her child to be modeling for H&M and other companies, sort of like a Harvey Weinstein situation where you don't want to slight yourself. So you know it's not cool, but you're not really saying don't do that. So I think that the mother is saying, I don't want to rock no boats. Either I got paid A and I'm going to be quiet, or I'm looking for the long-term check B and I'm going to be quiet. I don't think that she thinks that it's okay to look like a porch monkey in 2018. I don't think she
did. P. Diddy really give him $1 million contract with Sean John? So I've seen that.
Yes. I didn't know they still so close.
Yeah. Well, you know, he's on a
Puffy, who you sell your clothes to? They don't buy that in D.C.
Yeah.
But shout out to Puffy for doing that. That was a big deal. I think that was super cool.
$1 million. I know his mom is glad that monkey was on his shirt.
So now she can tell the truth and say she's not cool with the monkey situation because she's going to get a bag regardless. So tell the truth, Mama. We know you had a problem with it, Mama. But we moving on. Russell Simmons. Russell Simmons is back in the news with 2 new accusers, totaling 12, right? A few for sexual assault and a few for rape even. They went as far as to say rape. Wow. Now, these 2 new young ladies, wifey, you might want to chime in on these. The two new young ladies are basically saying that these are old allegations, of course, but they felt pressured, and he was trying to force oral sex on one of them, and the other one sort of like a similar situation. Well, so what do you guys think? Russell saying no.
Most of them giving it up. Right? They're doing all this faking. They giving it up. A lot of times these girls, they know these guys are in a position to help them level up. And they're giving it up. And it might be Russell Simmons not paying them broads no attention now. So now, since this phenomenon is going on with everybody's accusing everybody. Let me jump on the bandwagon and see if I can get some coins because I'm played out now. A lot of, when it comes to these entertainers and all this stuff, man, a lot of them know. Like, they try their hand. I'm pretty sure there's people watching right now that are in certain positions. And when women know, some women know you're in certain positions, they use their sex appeal and they do stuff to get that job. So I think a lot of times these women, they just picking,
playing too much.
But a lot of them probably did it.
Yeah, so you guys chime in, let us know your opinion. What do you think about it? Get on Facebook Live, or let us know what you think. I think the same. Wifey, what you think? You think that they milking it, or you think that these things just happened and all of a sudden it became heartfelt this year?
Really?
I'm just saying.
Like feelings started resurfacing just now.
Right.
I'm with Dana.
You done slept with 20 dudes since then.
I'm with you on this,
Come
sis.
on.
I'm with you on this one,
Dana.
sis. Yeah.
Okay. So anyway,
they're in Hollywood
I'm like,
trying to
have a
level
seat.
up.
Like, have several seats.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, they bluffing. You don't think that these girls? I mean, even if it happened, I'm not. Let's not.
Yeah, I'm not saying that they're bluffing.
Let's not diminish.
What I'm saying is,
what
back
happened
whenever it is that they
happened.
did what they did with Russell Simmons, they did what they did with Russell Simmons, trying to be put on.
Yeah,
Point blank, period. And he probably was a little more. He probably crossed the line. No different than. I mean, people who are not in the limelight, they'll cross the line. So it's no different than what goes on anyway. But Russell Simmons got that check, and they like,
let me get some of them coins.
Exactly.
Let me get them coins, yeah. So,
Absolutely.
Hindsight, you can't even get a
now,
woman to come to your room.
once one come out,
if you
then
don't
they
have
all
nothing to
start
offer
coming
her.
out.
You know what I mean, Dana? You can't get a woman to come to your hotel just because. I mean, you can, but in that industry, come up to my room and let's talk about this. They're not going to just normally just be like, yeah, let's come to your room. It's going to be because you can do something to further their goal.
And they know when the man invites you up to the room on the late night or y'all at a party, whatever. Oh, come to my room. They know. You know what you're going up there to do. And then you wait 15 or 20 years.
Okay. What they saying?
Let me see. Kelly Morrison said, in my opinion, if you benefited from the situations and didn't say anything at the time, then it wasn't sexual assault. Hello. And goodbye. Like sis said, have several seats. Exactly, Kelly.
That makes sense.
I agree.
If it was sexual assault, it should have been the year it occurred. It should have been sexual assault. But a lot of people were afraid of their careers being stifled by powerful young men, and that's the problem. So that's the Me Too thing that they're saying, Me Too. And so speaking of that, your crazy homeboy, what's his name, Floyd Mayweather, they asked him in an interview about the Me Too situation, and he said, oh, I thought when you was like saying, oh, you got a Bentley, me too, or so you got a big house, oh, me too. Like, he didn't know.
Oh, he really didn't know.
I'm not even playing. You can't make
Floyd don't care.
So Floyd laughed it off. I'm like, oh, damn, I didn't know what you meant. Okay, me too. What's next? Right, me too. Me too. I got Bentley too. Yeah, so basically Floyd, that was crazy. But anyway, on to the next. Gucci. I thought this was pretty interesting. Gucci is saying, okay, fashion is cool. And shout out to them for their fashion. Got everybody on Gucci these days. Back again. Mm-hmm. But now Gucci's taking this step further and saying we're going to open up a restaurant. And we're going to have a boutique inside the restaurant. And we're also going to have a cinema, a theater inside the restaurant. So show these pictures.
And everybody going to go just because it's Gucci.
Where's my producer? Where he go? Producer. Engineer.
We're trying to take a commercial break, y'all. Y'all can't see the commercials because y'all are on here.
Hey, you guys, we're going to show y'all this real quick.
Don't forget you can go to www.spotlightoverthecitylive.com.
So we got pictures of the Gucci. It's a Gucci restaurant, right? And so the rest, right. So they're going to show pictures on the inside and as well the outside. So what do you guys think? It's a nice looking restaurant,
where's
right?
that located?
I'm sorry. It's in Florence, Italy. And they've already opened the first one, which is this one.
And that's the Gucci restaurant.
And that's the Gucci restaurant / cinema, which is a theater / boutique.
Shopping.
Right. So of
you
course
go
you can
go to the movies and go shopping at
the
same time.
Right there in the Gucci venue. Right there, Gucci saying, we're not going to let you escape us. We're going to make sure we get the bag every time. All the way around. Right, Dana? Any way we can turn, we're going to get the bag. What y'all think? So Gucci,
that's nice.
Would you go to a Gucci restaurant? If it was local in your city, would you go to the Gucci restaurant, you guys, and say, let's see what the food is going to taste like? What do you think? Is the food going to be good?
Guess what? most of the black people that we know don't care. They just gonna go because it's Gucci.
it's
They
Gucci.
just want to say that
and
they
take
went.
pictures with their Gucci
Right.
plates and this
Their
and that.
their friend, their brother, their homie that they grew up with, they known forever, can have a nice restaurant. They gonna hate on that man or woman's restaurant. They're not gonna go support, but they gonna go to Gucci just because it's Gucci. The broke ones gonna go too. They gonna save up their coins to say they went to the Gucci restaurant. That's how our people go. If we're gonna talk real.
It's called Gucci Astoria, by the way. Astoria.
Oh.
That's
As
the
in
name of it.
Waldorf Astoria.
Astoria, right.
As in Waldorf
Yes.
Astoria. So Gucci Astoria is the name of the restaurant, and it's in Florence, Italy. So you guys who got the big bags, you can fly over there and tell me what you think
Oh, they
about the
Googling
Gucci
that
restaurant.
now.
Yeah.
They Googling
it's
it
in
now. They
Florence,
getting
Italy,
plane
and
tickets.
it's really kind of hot. I mean, it looks like it's gonna be hot. I
Looks
see some
nice.
Egyptology on the walls and this and that. Gucci smart. They see people know your history more than you do. So anyway, you see they got it all on the walls over there. Shout out to Gucci, man, for just stretching out, man. If they say if you want to spend the bag,
That's
we gonna
hot.
get the bag. So shout out to them.
Yeah,
They
that's
doing
cute.
their thing. They
Yeah,
innovative.
me at all.
Yeah, that's kind of cool, right?
Yeah,
So
I
you
like
think it
it.
would make it in the States, you guys? You think if
Oh heck yeah, we'll make it in the
so
States.
they opened up one on Wisconsin Avenue, would you
that
guys
could-
be intrigued to go?
That
I'm
thing
just
will be
curious.
flooded. Wisconsin
MGM
Avenue.
Grand, they got one in the MGM. Would you say like, let's go down there and see
Oh
what's
yeah,
going
it would be
on?
crazy.
It would be, right?
It would be crazy.
And then because it would have the boutique, and then you can watch the movie, go into the theater, Gucci theater, Gucci seats.
Gucci
Plush.
theater. If they have
that's a
Gucci
lot
seats
going
in
on,
there, that
though.
is a lot. But Gucci getting that money with
They
that.
getting a bag.
Movie
shout out to
theater,
them for being
restaurant,
innovative.
and
What y'all guys
shopping.
think? Would
That's
you go
hot.
To the Gucci theater? Would you go to the
Would you
Gucci
guys go to the
restaurant?
Gucci theater,
Go fly to
restaurants,
Florence,
go
Italy, see
shopping?
what's going on,
It's
y'all?
in Florence, Italy. It looks really nice, guys.
What you think, Jordan? What's happening? Excuse me. Moving on. Cardi B.
That's my girl.
Cardi
I love
B
her.
has
Me
just
too.
been. I like Cardi B. You guys like Cardi
love
B?
her.
I love her.
Man, Cardi B is the realest, right? You gotta love her.
love her.
Right? Look at her, and she's beautiful, right?
And she's herself at all times. That's why I love that lady so much.
So much so that sometimes I be thinking somebody got to get her. Like, go get her, bring her back over this way. But
I
Cardi
love
B is winning being Cardi B. Like,
Mm-hmm.
no filter, right? Love it.
I love it.
A lot of sex appeal. So much so that already she's made the Forbes list for the hip. It's called the Mongols list. It's the hip hop Mongols list for Forbes.
Wow.
And it's noted to be basically talking about the entertainers that's under 30 that's making headway in the entertainment industry.
She's the bomb.
And so she's one of the prominent people that's being spotlighted over there on that. But as well, my homeboy 21 Savage. Shout out to 21 Savage. He made the list.
Who's that?
21 Savage, yeah, he's a young rapper.
You know,
I'm
old.
going to take your black card, Dana.
Who's 21
If
Savage,
she
a
don't
rapper
know,
or a
21
singer?
Savage, 21.
What does he sing?
21.
What does
21.
he sing? What does he
In
sing?
my bank account. In my bank account.
Okay, yeah.
I got.
I know who that is.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In my bank account. Yeah, yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
okay, I know who that
Hey,
is. I don't
21.
know nobody's
21.
name but Jay-Z,
21. Yeah,
Rick
yeah, yeah.
Ross. Okay, go ahead.
So you gotta
I'm
stay with the
old.
streets now. We spotlight. You gotta stay spotlight. You gotta stay. You
Okay.
gotta be known now. So like, okay. So now, not only did Cardi B make it, what's happening? So not only Cardi B, not only 21 Savage. I'm sorry, but also Post Malone is another person. I'm not real familiar with a lot of Post Malone music, but Post Malone is a person who's making a lot of headway in the music industry, and he's doing a lot of stuff. So shout out to those, and it was 10 altogether. I didn't name them all, so it's
That's the
10,
bomb.
10 people altogether that's making a lot of noise on the Forbes
Right,
list,
right.
and this is for the 2019 up and coming Forbes list. They already projecting them to be major figures on it, so that's what it is. So clap
That's
it up for them,
good.
Cardi
That's
B.
hot.
Shout out for her, this and that. So she's making a lot of noise, She has another single, by the way. Shout out to what's your boy? I got a condo
Bruno
in-
Mars.
Her and Bruno Mars has
like
a really
Bruno
nice
Mars.
single out. I can't think of the name of it, but it's really hot and it's topping the charts. So shout out to them. That was a good collab for Cardi B. I think that was a big thing for both of them, as a matter of fact. Let me put my glasses on so I won't be fumbling through here. I'm acting like, for y'all don't know, one of my glasses they're just fake. They
To be
don't-
cute.
They not. The other glasses
The
I
other
really
one-
need to read.
Right,
The
stuff
first
right
one, he
here.
be walking into
So the
stuff.
other one, yeah.
Pretty much.
So it's nothing, right? Jeff Bezos. 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 Shout out to him, CEO of Amazon, for being the richest man on the planet.
What?
He topped up at over. Okay, tell me what you think his worth is. If he's the richest
The
person.
richest man on the planet.
Yes. Well, he's really technically not, but
Well, what
noted on Forbes and this and that. That's the local known richest person. How much
Okay.
you think he worth? What would you say? What'd you say,
100.
Jacob?
Thousands of dollars.
He said thousands. He said the richest man.
I said the richest.
100
not the brokest, Jacob.
100 billion.
So he's richer than like Warren Buffett. He's richer
Looking on
than.
my notes.
No, I didn't look at your notes.
105 billion.
I just said 100
He's worth
billion.
105 billion dollars. This is the CEO of Amazon. 105 billion.
Wow.
105 billion. That's a change right there. It's a little change. Now that's because a man took a chance on himself, decided to open up a company, take a shot, do the history on Amazon. Was a small thing at first, ended up a huge thing. Now it's the thing to compete with, and he's worth 105 billion. So let me tell you something cool about
God
Jeff.
Almighty.
Jeff said one of the things about being a billionaire that never changed with him, because I wanted this, is family. Every morning he spends time with his family before any meetings. He doesn't schedule any meetings before 10 a.m. because he has to be with his family. That's the first thing he said. The second thing is he said he washes dishes every day that he's home available because he wants to put in with the family time. So he does a thing to instruct family time so that he be a part of it.
Washing
right?
dishes.
$105 billion, right? So he still decides that family's really important. So that's
good.
Family's
That's
really
good.
important. So
All
shout
right,
out to
I'm
Jeff.
good.
That's why I decided to shout him out. I thought that was a big deal. Right? This is the idiot of the day. It's a Wisconsin teacher. It's a Wisconsin Christian English school teacher. She asked the fourth graders in her class. I'm sorry, this is a guy. He asked the fourth graders in his class to do a homework on slavery and give him 3 good and 3 bad reasons for slavery. Right.
3 good
And
and 3 bad reasons.
and the
What
whole-
good
I was
reasons
gonna
can
say,
you have
what
for
good
slavery, you
reasons?
idiotic teacher?
So this is the idiot, right? So the homework is asking the class, can you guys go and write down 3 things that was good about slavery? And it was supposed to create dialogue, by the way. They asked, what was the purpose for this, you dummy? What was the purpose
Yeah,
for
I
this?
can't
Because
get
you're a
that.
dummy. So now what were you trying to get your students to talk about? What dialogue were you looking for in this case?
I mean,
Right?
I'm
3
trying to
bad,
think.
good
What could
reasons
you think?
for slavery.
What could you
Y'all
think?
give me one.
It made black.
A
Um,
good
I need it made us stronger. What?
yeah, it
Like,
made
what?
black people
Give me-
stronger.
what,
That
what?
was a good thing about slavery. It made
Okay.
black people
So
stronger.
it made you buff. You ain't had to go to Gold's Gym.
Yeah, it made
Okay.
you stronger.
That was a good thing?
It made you.
Okay, what else did it do?
You learn how to take whippings and beatings.
So it made you stronger again? Some
Yeah,
more?
it made you stronger again, right?
Okay, so that's the first thing. It made you stronger. And then the second thing, it made you stronger some more.
And
right?
mentally stronger. So it
And
just
that-
made you strong.
It just made you strong. You know what?
Right, exactly.
That's what happened. So
That was the good thing, I
were they
guess.
supposed to come home? So what happened was they went home, and a few of the students shared this homework with their parents. And you can imagine the face on the parents when you come home, your child, 4th grader, says, Mom, Dad, I have this homework that I have to do, and what I have to do is come up with 3 good things that slavery did for you. and then your parents say, what did you say? And so they showed up at the school in outrage.
What nationality? I have to say, the teacher could not have been black. Was she
Well,
black?
In Wisconsin, I can't say. I don't have that. I don't want to false claim. I don't know. So I'm just gonna say that's just a dummy, regardless of what
Yeah.
the race and
She's an
nationality.
idiot,
If
no
you was
matter what
black,
her
you was
race
a
is.
dummy,
Idiot of the
black
week.
dummy. If you was white, you was dumb and white. If you was
Just even
Asian, you
ask
was a
that
dumbass
question.
Asian. So either one, you just was dumb for that, like real dumb. So yeah, dummy of the day, dumb.
Of the
So,
year.
Yeah, for life. You're dumb for life. That's it. Just idiot. Moving on. Happy birthday, Mary J. Blige. I really, she's everybody's favorite. Mary J.
And I
Blige
love
has
that
a birthday.
picture.
But guess what else has had? I know I try to get some good ones to make her look really cute, right? I know y'all
You love
can't
her,
see the
Dana?
screen.
Y'all love.
What you think?
You love
I know
Mary
you
J?
don't. I know
I
you
mean,
don't.
I don't love. I like Mary J.
I like her. I don't
Yeah,
love her.
You know, let me tell you. Let me shut up, y'all, because y'all know I go all the way in. I like Mary.
Okay.
I like some of the words in her songs. I like her looks. Do I think she's a hell of a vocalist?
No.
No.
Okay.
I
Well, that's
think,
being honest.
I
right?
think she really made it to where she is because who she was connected to.
Right.
Because if somebody that we just knew came in here and started singing and sound like Mary sounded at first, they would get no love in Washington, D.C. at all. Not even from their family members. But
I
that's
agree.
Her
But you know-
connections, and then she started taking vocal classes, so she started to sound a little bit better. But I think the hype of who she was around made her who she is today. But I like her. I
What y'all
like
think
her.
Yeah,
on
I like
Facebook?
her.
What y'all think on Facebook? Mary J. Blige or nah? Answer.
Y'all think Mary's
Y'all
the
Mary
mom?
J. fans. So to her credit, She got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
I saw that, and I'm happy for her.
And so shout out to you for that. Also, happy birthday. But that was where I was going with the news. She has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame for her recognition as being a vocalist.
Was Kendu's name with it? Because you know he tried to be in.
Well, Kendu is probably he probably wrote his that night
right.
and scribbled it with a marker. Kendu, like the idiot, he is really the idiot of life. Kendu, I hate to even talk about him because he's the epitome of a soft clown. He's like the clown of the day. So anyway,
happy birthday to Mary J. Blige.
Happy birthday, Mary! Not just happy
What's the
birthday, but
411?
congratulations.
That's still my favorite song.
Yeah, I like Mary.
Boom, that
She's a
joint
cool
was tight,
chick.
right? So what's your favorite Mary song?
What's y'all's favorite Mary song?
What's y'all favorite Mary song?
On Facebook Live.
What's y'all
Y'all
favorite
can't see
Mary
me.
song?
Let me see.
I like Mary, but her music is only good when she
What's
is
y'all's
really
favorite
loud.
Mary J. Blige song?
Yours, hey.
What's your
Mine is,
favorite Mary J.
What's the
Blige
411,
song?
hun?
Give it to us. We're asking everybody on our Facebook Live.
That one was hot. So
411,
Mary
that
J
could
got her
not be.
star.
That's your favorite song. What's the 411?
Real love, real love.
Real love.
I think that was it for me. Real love. That was tight.
That was good. That was a good one. But what's the 411 is still just my favorite.
I can't even remember. I like a lot of her songs, but I can't think of one name of one song.
So
It
you
was one
definitely
kinda
not a Mary J fan.
It was a slow song. It was kind of a slow song by Mary that I loved. They used to play it on the radio all. No, it was like back in the day. It
But
was
you
the
know a lot of
bomb.
them though. What's your favorite Mary J song?
Yeah, it was a
Anthony?
slow song.
Real love, right? What's the 411?
Yeah, what's the slow
Real
song?
Love. What's the
No,
slow?
she had
Yeah,
a crank
Mary
and
J.
slow
slow
one that
y'all.
they
What's
play
the
on the
crank and Mary J
radio
joint?
all the time. I used to love that song.
Method.
Who?
Her method.
Oh,
My life.
You're all I need. You're all
Oh
I
yeah, I
need.
like that too, but that's
to
not the
get by-
favorite.
Yeah. That
Nobody
crank.
knows the slow song
We
though.
doing this in, you too.
Bye, you too.
We doing this in regards for Mary J having her birthday, but not just that. She's
I
getting.
can't think
She
of the
has a
song,
Hollywood
sis.
a
It's a
star on the
slow
Hollywood
song.
Walk of Fame.
I'm happy about her
we
getting that
just
star.
shouting her out basically.
Shout out
so we
to
just
her
trying
for
to say.
that.
For anyway, we can't think of a favorite. You don't have a favorite. You know a lot of them for you not to be a
I
Mary
can't
J
believe
fan.
you don't
You're
know
a
that
fake
slow
fan.
song,
I think you're an
sis.
undercover fan.
What's the 411 is my favorite. And I know
What's the
Real
411?
Love.
Okay.
I don't know a lot of her songs.
When I get out of here, I'm gonna pull up that song and I'm gonna put it on my Facebook page. It's a slow song by Mary J. They used to play it on the radio all the time. Some of the go-go bands here even hit that song.
Dana, what is
Hold on.
Some of the go-go bands
you
here
can
used to
think
hit
of
that
it, I'll
old
sing
Mary
it.
J. song. I can't
If
even
you
think
think
of
of it, she gonna
it.
sing it. So you gotta
I
think
can't
of
believe
it.
none of y'all know the old Mary J. song. They used to play
My
on the
Life.
radio
My
all
friend
the time.
Tracy just said My Life. How
Oh,
does
that
that
crank.
go?
Yeah,
How does
yeah.
My Life go?
Life
My life,
can
my life,
be-
my
That's
life.
it.
So-
That's it. No,
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
that's
She said- no,
in
hold
the
on.
sunshine.
That's the hook to it.
Hold on. Was it My Life? How does that go? Is it slow?
When I'm something.
That's it. It's called My Life. That's it. Is it called My Life?
Well, someone says My Life, but I don't know the hook. I'm trying to think of
think
what that
that's it.
song is. My Life.
My life. And then
that
they,
is not it. Never mind.
well,
Let's
they
move
do the
on.
hook. That's the hook. So anyway, shout out to Murray.
Oh, if you look in my life and see what
I
I see.
That's it. That's my life,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
yeah,
Tracy, you win,
That's
Tracy.
what it is. Thank you, Tracy. That's the song.
Appreciate
That's
you,
my
Tracy.
favorite. That's my favorite.
So
Yeah.
hey, shout out to Tracy too. Hey, and shout out to your sister Cheryl, Dr. Cheryl Neverson. Happy birthday. I didn't
Today
Belated.
Cheryl's birthday
Yeah,
too?
happy
No,
belated
belated.
birthday. I'm
Sister.
sorry for not shouting you out. I kind of got caught up and forgot to say happy
Happy
birthday.
belated.
So happy belated birthday to Dr. Cheryl Neverson. So moving on. This one was kind of interesting. This is like another dummy of the day award. This guy right here, 17-year-old Seth, and I hate that he has my son's name because most Seths are pretty sharp. But Seth Carreras is being charged. He's a 17-year-old being charged as an adult with the murder of a 19-year-old Hunter Woodson for selling him 1.5 ounces of marijuana that was fake marijuana, and it ended up being some paprika and some other spices. Some other spices. I hate to make light of it, but this is the real true story. It's a murder. Like, this is a 17-year-old that murdered a 19-year-old. He's being charged as an adult. So he has to be
people.
the jackass of the year.
Yeah, bless
So
us
this
all.
is for 1.5 ounces of marijuana. It was a $120 deal, so it must have been a cheap ass ounce of marijuana. I don't know. I don't know who he got that. Not that I know where I could get marijuana, but in my
Don't worry about
in
it.
my
It's
mind,
legal.
in my mind,
It's
I was
legal.
just
It's
like,
legal
okay,
around
so
these
where did you
parts.
get 1.5 ounces of marijuana for $120? So anyway, he should have known he was being pranked right away.
Right,
That's why I
exactly.
was just knowing he probably don't smoke that much. But yeah, that was a sad situation. 17-year-old, so both lives are lost. The 19-year-old is dead, And it was in front of his girlfriend, by the way. Woodson's girlfriend was present during the shooting. So I'm pretty sure they all knew each other and was just hanging out, and then boom. So I thought this, on a lighter note, I think this is pretty cool. August 2019, for those who are learned, this is going to be a big deal, and if you didn't know this already. On August 2019, it commemorates the 400th year since the first slave arrived in the United States of America, right? So 400 years was the number that was given to us, 400 plus years that you will suffer at the hands. And so now in August of 2019 will be the 400th year, which means you're sliding on home or coming out of something, which is big. But a representative, Bobby Scott, has introduced the 400 years, let me get this right, 400 Years of African American History Commissions Act, which is put in play to create programs and events to acknowledge the contributions of blacks from 400 plus years of being in the country, not of their own. Make sense? So shout out to the committee. First of all, I'm curious to know what they're going to do, but they came up with it to acknowledge the situation. So I thought that was pretty cool in itself. So 400 years, do your homework. It's a shift. It's a shift of energy that's going to come upon the world itself. And it's shifting now because you see wars about to start, have already started, in fact, and things are starting to happen to the bad, but they're going to turn out for good if you know your history, or if you're in the right place. So 400 years is really big for people who, like myself, like to study and read. So moving on, Spotlight Sports, Alabama. Congratulations to Alabama on a defeat. They used a rookie quarterback, and they defeated Georgia. I saw
guys going crazy.
I was so mad because I was going for Georgia. Georgia was winning. They was doing a heck of a job. They was up. And so that was surprising because Alabama's always a good team, in case you're not a sports buff. Alabama's always a team who shows up, sort of like New England Patriots or something like that.
Well, it was on in the house. Brian was watching it, but I didn't know what was going on. The game was on. I wanted to watch the ID channel, right? And I'm like, what is this? Not even NFL. He was like, this is college football. This is the bomb. I'm like, okay, boo, go ahead and enjoy. I didn't know what was going on, but I know what game you're talking about because I couldn't watch what I wanted to watch.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, right? So, I mean, what happened was they took the starter out of the game. Alabama took their starter out of the game because he sucked at that time. He didn't do well. So they put a rookie quarterback in, a true rookie, a freshman. And he came in and cooked. Like, he brought them back, and he threw a bomb at the end of the game.
I saw that.
That scored the touchdown. So, shout out to them. They did a great job. I'm not an Alabama fan, but I had to report the news. So, shout out to Alabama and all the Alabama fans for coming through for that. They beat them in the Georgia Dome, too. They was down. Georgia, they had a new stadium, by the way, Mercedes. Did you see Mercedes stepping up, building them a dome down there? So shout out to them. So now I'm adding something, you guys. It's not going to be in this particular segment always, but I'm just throwing it in just because it's here now, and I'm going to do it so we can get into our topic. But this is going to be a Throwback Thursday, and every Thursday I'm going to talk about a throwback situation and spotlight it. How about that? So this particular one is I'm just congratulating John Singleton because 23 years ago today, he had a movie. What was the name of the movie? John Singleton movie. 23 years ago.
23
years ago, John Singleton movie.
That was Boys in the Hood, probably.
It was 4 years after that. It was John 4 years Singleton, right after that. After Boys in the Hood. It came out 4 years after Boys in the Hood. It was a more conscious movie. I'm going to give you a hint. It was about college.
School days.
That was Spike Lee.
It was about college.
It's about college, and it was about basically the woes of college and the things that people suffer at the hands of trying to be college students and this and that. And it was based on,
movie,
it was on
but
campuses.
I don't know the name.
And
they
this
were on
and that.
campus. I remember.
Okay, higher
learning, right.
Dana
he gave me a hint.
I never saw
higher learning.
You
so
never saw
was,
higher learning?
I never saw
Never?
that.
That was 23 years ago.
Yeah, so time is balling, right? So
throwback.
it was a Throwback Thursday. John Singleton, 23 years ago today, that film aired.
Higher learning.
So Higher Learning was the film. Shout out to John Singleton. Congratulations to him. So he's never stopped making great films since then. So I tell you what, we'll be right back. Dana, my co-host is hilarious, by the way.
I'm back.
We have a slight situation. So I tell you what we're gonna do, because we have a topic coming up, and it's blended families. We want you guys to tune in and be a part of the topic. Make sure you go to Spotlight, like our page, and we get ready to be right back with the topic. Blended families, the do's and don'ts, or how can you make it work? Right back after this commercial.
Spotlight. City, don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back.
She got beat.
I put the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city. See the superstar. Hollywood to Hollywood. Girl, you look good. Yeah, they hollering, baby. I keep modeling, baby. ATLD. I put the spotlight on your city. Carolina, Philly. I put the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city. See the superstar. Hollywood to Hollywood. Girl, you look good. Yeah, they hollering, baby. I keep modeling, baby. ATLD. I put the spotlight on your city. Carolina, Philly. I put the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city. See the superstar. Hollywood to Hollywood. Girl, you look good. Yeah, they hollering, baby. I keep modeling, baby. ATLD. I put the spotlight on your city. Carolina, Philly. I put the spotlight on your city.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Spotlight over the city. I'm your host, Stan Long, and we are in the building with Miss Dana Day, the one and only. And also in the wings, we have wifey sitting on
That's
deck,
right, my sister.
The panel host herself today, Terry Long. So basically, last week we touched on this, and we talked about blending families, the woes, the ups, the downs, the ins, the outs. And wifey was the expert on the panel. She said that she had basically orchestrated our situation or had a big instrument in it. And Dana, I talked to you before off camera, and you said that you also was in a blended situation.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me some of the, because you wasn't here last week, tell me some of the don'ts that you would say when it comes to blending a family. What would be one of the don'ts? Like, hell no, don't do that. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
What would you think? What would you say?
Well, this is my first time because, okay, let me start off by saying for those of you who don't know me that are watching us there and watching us on Facebook Live, I don't have any kids. So I just have nieces and nephews. Having nieces and nephews and spending time with them and spoiling them and hanging out with them is different from raising a kid. I know that. So being in a relationship now with my fiance, Brian, he has 3 kids. One is in college. He's a senior. One is a freshman in college, and one is 9. So this was my first time being a mom because it's really like being a mom. So I walked into the situation as Dana. I walked in as Dana. But when I walked into the situation, let me rewind that. I walked in as Dana who loves Brian. So in my eyes, it was, I love this man. This is my boyfriend at the time. I love him. But reality hit me once the relationship started getting deeper and growing stronger and stronger. Mind you, I always strayed away from men with kids all of my life. So I'm at I'm 44 now. I wait until I'm in my 40s to deal with a man with the kids. So this was like totally different from me. And it was something that I always strayed away from on purpose. But fast forward to now, we got together. The relationship was good. The kids are great kids. I mean, well-mannered. They are great kids. The only thing we had to get used to was the way I was used to living. So I moved into their home. Mm-hmm. So they are used to having dad, and Brian was married. So most of their lives, up until some years ago, it was mom and dad, Brian and his wife, and the kids. So mom is with her husband now. Brian has his new girlfriend, and I'm around all the time now. So it took some getting used to for everybody because I'm a neat freak. That's the first thing. I'm a neat freak. When I come in the house, I don't like shit everywhere. So that was an issue at first. They're used to being the way they are. Not saying the house was dirty. It wasn't dirty, but I'm just used to stuff being when you come in the house, you don't drop your coat on the couch. Put your coat in the closet. After you get up from eating at the table, you don't leave a mess at the table. Get that Windex, get that rag, wipe your mess up. It was just little stuff like that. But that little stuff, if you don't address it, it could wreck your relationship.
So how do you address it, though? Like, did you find yourself being open open about it, just coming right out saying, clean your shit or whatever.
No,
or did you backdoor it and be like, well, normally I'm not really cool with the, you not getting your plate up. How did you handle it?
As open, as upfront as you all know that I am. I'm very direct. I say what I want to say. I didn't take that approach with Brian and the kids because it wasn't just about me. It was about us working together to fix it. Right. So what I did, I told Brian, I said, I can't come into this relationship looking like the evil stepmom. I need you to work with me.
Right.
Before I move in and come in, you're going to have to start telling them now, you need to pick your stuff up, do this, do that. Because if you don't start telling them the little things they need to do, when I come in, it's going to be like, that lady is evil. She fusses about us not doing the dishes. She does this, she does that. So I just told Brian, we can make this work. It's not a big issue, but I need you to step up, and then I follow behind you.
So you were basically saying things needed to be fixed, but the other side felt like, obviously, because that's what had been going on, that there wasn't anything to be fixed. Is that...
Exactly.
Okay.
So had I just come in, they would have been like, this lady come here telling us to do this, do that, do that. But it's been fine up until then. But kids only do what they are allowed to do. So again, I just wanted a little bit of structure. That's what it was. Mm-hmm. Brian, and for a long time, Brian was a single parent taking care of the kids.
Right.
So I wanted structure. Brian was working. The kids are in private school. The kids are in college. Like, he's doing everything. So it's like, it was not a lot of structure like I was used to.
Right.
Because I was raised with structure. You do this, you do homework at this time, you eat dinner at this time, you take a bath by this time, you're in bed by this time. So that's how I was raised. So coming into a relationship where none of that was in place, it was a problem at first.
So how do you handle that? Like, is your perspective that, well, I was raised with structure and this is the right way?
Yeah, it was.
That's the right
because
way.
That's the way you knew, right? That's what you were for me. So, like with you,
is what he was doing and how he was handling them the wrong way?
In my eyes, yes. In my eyes, it was the wrong way because little girls need to learn as little girls. You don't throw your stuff down. When you get up, you clean the kitchen up. So I will say, in my eyes, it was the wrong way because certain things little girls need to be taught and teenagers need to be taught as young ladies because they're going to become a wife and a mother one day. So, yeah, I would say that.
So then, Terry, to piggyback off of that, because I feel like how Dana feels, and you already know that. So would you, because now to her defense, she feels it's no right or wrong way. She feels it's a different way. Like your way could be different than B's way. But it doesn't make B's way wrong, is what Terry says. I agree with you because I believe in principle. And so I believe that if you don't do certain things and you violate principle, it's not having anything to do with how you were raised or this or that. It's principle. And so Terry believes that principle is still a mindset based on how you grew up. So that becomes your principle. You know what I'm saying?
That's how you feel, Terry?
I do. You only know what you know. So that's why I asked you that question. I said, okay, so when you go into a situation like that, who determines which way is right? Like, he could very well say, well, Dana, the way I've been handling things is the way we do it. And it's not wrong. It's just different than the way you were raised. You know what I mean? Like, so who determines what's right and what's wrong? So you and Stan could say that all day that is the way. But then I could come in and tell you, well,
that's not the way I was raised.
That's not the way I was raised.
And you see your way as right as well as
I see my way is fine.
Right.
You know, I steer away from saying this is right. I'm not saying that the way I raised was right or wrong. It's just what it was. And that's what worked for my family.
So peeping your chat room. Peeping your chat room. Let's see. I'm peeping in. Let's see what your comments are. What do you guys think about this? Weigh in. Tell me what you think.
Monique Wilbon said, teach them while they're
if you
young.
want to listen and comment.
Rodney, the coach Wilson. Hey, Rodney said, it's a part of child development. Benita said, I agree. I'm going up. Kiasha said, this is true. I just think, this is just what I think as far as little girls. I think little girls I think it's the parents, especially the mother's responsibility to teach little girls how little girls should act. Because sooner than later, little girls will become young ladies. They will become women. They will become mothers and wives. So I just felt like I have to teach them, you don't come in and throw your stuff in the middle of the floor and go about your business. You don't come in and throw your stuff on the couch, your coat on the couch. That's what the closet's for. But like you said, if they don't know that, then it's not the kids' fault.
Right.
Let me tell you, I said to Brian 1,000 times that this is not about the kids. If the kids don't know, the kids are not going to do it. This is not, it's not about the kids. And basically, I just said, like, we have to come together to form structure. And right now, it's structure, and it was nothing because we have a bond now. I can talk to the girls, and especially the youngest one. Like, that's my little sidekick. You see her on Facebook. She's always with me. Like, I'm very straightforward. Yeah. Like, I'm coming in the picture like something they've never dealt with in their entire life. They've never dealt with a woman like me. They've never been around a woman like me. And I come in being myself. So it's like she learned, the youngest one, she learned like, okay, it got to the point we would come in the house and she would put her stuff down and she was like, oh, wait a minute. She would come back down the steps. She make it to that 4th step. Oh, let me get my stuff and take it in my room.
So she learned.
Yeah. It was just us coming together to work on it.
So did you get any backlash from the other parent? Like, did you feel any resistance from their mother?
Oh, not the mom. Like,
Not
she's
the
in
mom?
her house. She's in her house with her husband.
Got you.
No, not at all.
Because sometimes the other parent, like with me, it wasn't because, you know, it was a good understanding from the beginning. But in some blended family situations, the other parent has a problem with the way things are being conducted in your household with their children.
Let me tell you something.
You know what I mean?
Brian and I live together. If there was a problem, it wouldn't be a problem. What goes on in that house, that's my house now. That's our house now. So what goes on in that house is our business. Nobody can dictate a thing that goes on in that house.
That's right.
Point blank, period. So, and I'm not even his wife yet, but I'm about to be his wife.
Right.
So
well,
that house
fiance,
is our house.
So yeah. And that's true. So now what were you going to say, Terry?
I was going to say, Teresa is on here. She says, hey, Terry, I agree with you. There is not a right or a wrong. People raise their children differently. I also agree with Dana. But again, there is no right or wrong. And I think from the perspective she's coming from, Dana, is that, like you said, that's to you, that's structure, and young ladies need to be taught. So my sister and I think, are well-groomed young women, doing well in society. Like, we didn't grow up to be, you know, like these little bums. But my mom never said, pick this up, do this.
So you all were messy little girls. Is that what you're saying?
They didn't have chores. They didn't have to do anything.
We didn't have to do
go,
anything. We just had to go to school, get good grades, be respectful kids, be in the house when the street lights come on. Like, we had rules, but those were the rules. Otherwise, my mom just did everything else under the sun. So that's what I learned.
Y'all were a lucky case. You all were a lucky case. And I say you all are a lucky case because I was just talking to Benita about this earlier today. You all were lucky and blessed. Y'all are just thorough women, point blank, period. Seriously.
Because I mean that's not the norm.
But I watched my mom. We watched her. It's like, so to me, people learn differently, okay? This is just my opinion. People learn differently. So I watched my mom be this, you know, this woman who went to work every day, who still, you know, provided food on the table, you know, cooked meals and washed clothes and did all that stuff. So you grew up
to be like your mom because that's what you saw, right?
That's what I saw.
So again, you all were blessed. You and your sister are blessed.
But did she do it the wrong way?
As far as not making y'all clean up, hell yeah, she should have made y'all clean up. But no, as far as being a mom, but as far as being a mom, like I said, I think you are an exception, because I think a lot of times when you do everything for your child, you're not preparing that child for the real world. Most of the time, like when you do everything, you cook for them, you clean for them, you pick up, you run you're not preparing that child for the real world, because that's why when mom and dad is gone, what they gonna do? The real world is a mean mother.
It is. Yeah. And so what did we do? We in the real world. So you might say, well, what they gonna do?
Yeah,
well, when
so
I got my townhouse at 23, I said, oh, well, my mom ain't gonna come over here and clean it up. So what do I have to do? I have to clean it.
Y'all are an
I have to cook it. I have to go and do all these things.
And most of the time, you are an exception. That's not the norm.
No, it's not.
No, that's not the norm. Most of the time, when a parent does that, they are making the child feel entitled. The child is not going to be the woman that they need to be when they grow up. They're not going to cook. They're not going to clean. They're going to feel like everybody owes them something. And they're not going to be appreciative. They're not. But you are, in my opinion, you and your sister are an exception, because I know for a fact both of you are very successful. Thank you. I just think most of the time when a parent does everything for a child, I feel like they are enabling them.
They're not preparing them for the real world.
Right.
So, Now she made the comment. I've talked to you about this on numerous occasions. She stated exactly how I felt. I feel your children are exceptional as well. Tierra and Tyler in particular are older, and I see that they have the potential to go down the same path as you and Cheryl did. They are go-getters. They are not lazy when it comes to being workers. They go to school, they work, they do what they have to do. Well, Tierra's graduated, shout out to her. But I mean, I see the progression in their lives where normally it cripples the person.
Yeah, it does.
It stagnates the children. Normally, right? It makes them stagnant. Is why I ever would speak on it, because I didn't want that to become their lives. I wanted them to be able to stand on their own. But now I'm witnessing it, right? So there are some genes are different.
Yeah, some genes are different.
Normally, that's not going to happen. Normally, you're going to have some lazy-ass kids that don't have the guts to go out and make anything of themselves, won't fail ever, because the moment they do, they're crushed and they run it home to their parents.
And their parents take care of it.
And that's the norm that I was familiar with, seeing what you were doing or what you had done. So that was our class in the beginning with blending families, just the different backgrounds. You know what I'm saying? Right. So you want to touch anybody in the chat room? Let's see. Anybody want to take any comments?
Yes, I do believe in shores.
And Rodney said it gives a false sense of reality. And Rodney, I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that a lot of times, because when you do that, when you treat a child in that manner, they just feel like everything is going to always go the way they want it to go. And you're absolutely right, Rodney. That is a false sense of reality.
Yeah, we could go on and on about this, y'all, for 2 hours.
And so it's a broad topic, but I think hopefully, you know, if you had one thing that you could give to take away on a positive note for blending families, what would it be?
One thing I would say is to customize how you handle your children based on who they are. I mean, I know that, you know, people have rules and it's just a rule across the board. But what I have learned from raising children and also from blended families is children, just like adults, are unique individuals. And so Stan can't handle Tierra the same way that he handles Tyler or the same way that he handles David. And neither can I as the mom. So I would say one takeaway that I have learned is to understand each child's different uniqueness. And you do have to kind of customize how you handle them based on who they are.
What would you say?
My one take, and I like that take. I think that's an excellent take. My one, to piggyback off of that, I would say, you know, just to add to it, I think that the two people have to be unified in the household, no matter good or bad or indifferent. I think that it has to be unity shown to the children, because they will help to divide the home.
Amen.
Once they see one crack of something that's not unified, then kids are smart. And so when they see it, I think they'll prey on that. So I would say stay unified as a couple and talk about the things you don't agree with behind closed doors, and don't let your children hear the conversations that you have intimately.
Mine is short and sweet. The parents run the house. The parents make the decisions, and the kids do what the parents say. That's just me.
And it's sometimes not that easy, but that should be the long and short of it all. The parents should have the last say.
You come together as parents and figure out what's best for the kids. It's not, like I always tell people, it's not about what the kids want. It's about what's best for the kids.
It's what they need, right?
Yeah, what's best for them, what they need. And it's the parents' responsibility to come together and do that. It's not the parents' responsibility to come together along with the kids. No.
Right.
This is the parents' household. This is what's going down. That's how I feel.
So hopefully you guys got a takeaway from it. We would love to hear your comments. You make sure you go to our Spotlight page and like Spotlight Over the City Spotlight page and continue the conversation. We'll go over there and continue it. We appreciate you guys watching on Facebook Live. Thank you, Terry, for sitting in on the panel as well. And thank you guys also for checking us out, spotlightoverthecitylive.com. We love to have you guys tune in again. Let us know what you think about the topics. Send us in some great topics in our email. Hit us up on Facebook, Spotlight. Hey, Nakia. Give everybody some shout-outs. We got to get out of here. Shout out to everybody for watching. You guys were wonderful. Hopefully, like I said, we got a takeaway. Thank you guys again. We love you guys. Until next week, make sure you guys tune in every week. Love hard, live good. God first.
See you
Spotlight
next
over the city.
I put the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city. See the superstars. Hollywood to Hollywood. keep my